All right. Hey, hello everybody. How are we doing today? It's your boy Ghost here. Little juicy extra broadcast for you guys here this morning, afternoon. I'm a little way late today. I had some real life stuff going on, but we're finally here. And this is typically a race that we broadcast to you guys on Saturdays, but we had a special event pop up with DMJ and DDR of course, yesterday that they needed a commentator for, and of course, I'm next in line to fill that spot. And because obviously I'm partnered with DMJ, of course I answered the call. So these guys changed their race up just a little tiny bit here at the GTRC for us, so they could save the race from yesterday for us, so we could bring this to you today as a rebroadcast. So we're going to do something a little bit fun. Now, this is something you guys won't see during a live broadcast because I just don't have the capability to do so. But today we do. So we're going to do a grid walkthrough before we start the race here today. So we're going to take you down. We're going to let you guys take a look at all the cars on the grid. And then we'll kick our cameraman off the track. And we'll get to the racing, ladies and gentlemen. So this is round 3 of the Group 4 Silvia Touring Car Championship, ladies and gentlemen. And it's been a cracking series so far. We've had 2 really action-packed rounds. We've got, hey, Al, you doing, Hair Razor? Hey, Doug, how you guys doing? Glad to see you guys viewing. Sorry it's so late for you guys. My apologies. But, and we're at Monza. And I mean, Monza's Monza. Anybody who sim races and any platform, Monza is in their game. And we all know that the T1 and 2 chicane can be very, very interesting at race start, let's say, and then of course the racetrack itself just provides some high speed, difficult side by side racing at Monza. There's not too many places you can really run safely side by side here, so we'll have to see how the drivers handle all this. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, the required tires for the series are racing medium tires, and the fuel and tire consumption are at 3 times multipliers for each. So basically what that means, for those of you that may be viewing for the first time, is this is going to be a 50 or 55 minute race. And so essentially every time we add a multiplier to the fuel and the tire, we're essentially doubling or tripling or quadrupling the race length, but still getting it within that hour. So at 3 times fuel and at 3 times tire, ladies and gentlemen, we're actually essentially running a 3-hour race. So that means that the guys will be going through the fuel and their tires will be wearing down as if we were running a 3-hour endurance race here at Monza. So that's what the tire and fuel multipliers means for those that may be new to watching or don't understand exactly what those multipliers do. So most certainly going to be a one-stop race. There's no shot these guys are going to be able to get around Monza for an hour and not have to take fuel. Tires is a different story. The guys might be able to save a set of medium tires for an hour for sure, but again, you have to take that pit stop. You might as well take some fresh rubber as well. But let's get our walkthrough going here. So our cameraman's sitting quite still. He's pretty good at it, but we're going to go ahead and we're just going to do our little walkthrough. So we got pole position here, and well, this sure looks like a Doug car. So we're going to say Doug is sitting on pole. I haven't actually looked at the grid order yet, so we're just kind of winging it here. Moving up into P2 here. Now that is a good looking livery right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let our cameraman walk through here. And we'll go take a look at the driver door. We got red line sitting in P2 there. Moving down the grid here. Nice classic. Simple. I'm guessing that's Ibra. Going into 4th place here, we got the old Repsol livery rocking and rolling here on this Silvia. The liveries look fantastic here. These guys do a great job with their liveries at GTRC. They're clean, they're precise, and we don't have a driver name, so we don't know who that is yet. We'll break that down when the race starts for you guys. Moving into P5 here, another Repsol livery. Drivers don't like to put their driver names on their cars apparently, so we got the Nismo. I'm assuming this is going to be Type R or yeah. Who do we got here? Supra. And as you can see, some of the drivers right there on the door frame, ladies and gentlemen, do have their names etched in their cars there. So we got Monkey Mafia here, of course, from EDA. It was Alchemy Esports, I believe. We've got this anime-looking DuPont Silvia here. That looks really good. It actually looks like that livery took some time. It's very layered. It's very, very well done. Moving down the grid here, we got 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th. We're in P9 here. We got another EDA driver here by the looks of it. And we got Anto on the track here, so nice to see Anto back. And then we got the shiny orange. This may very well be... Oh, this is Tap. All right. I figured that might actually be Trone. Moving down the grid here. This looks like a 750-esque style car right here. He's got my number on it too, so it's definitely 750. And then we got Pappy. Mr. Pappy. Snap-on, fluorescent green, Silvia. Chilling out at the back of the pack here. All right. So... there's our 12 through first grid walkthrough. Some of the drivers, I'm not sure. They might be first-time drivers. I may not have seen them, or they just don't put their names on their cars. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick it. Lights are red already. We're waiting. Waiting. Still waiting, and we're green. Go, go, go. Everybody looking like we're getting a good, clean start here. We're going to have a battle right off the bat. Doug gets a clean breakaway here from P1, but we are going to have a battle between the two drivers here. Let's get you some info. There we go. All right. That was correct. It was Ibra. So we do have Doug in first. We got Redline in second. We got Ibra in third. We've got Supra sitting in fourth. We've got Fenton sitting in fifth. We've got Keytop sitting in sixth. We've got Monkey Mafia sitting in seventh. We've got Anto in eighth. We've got, who is that? We don't know. We can't really read that from here. I'm going to take a good close look at that. We got Pappy in P10. We got Tap in P11 and Type R in P12. So I recognize some of the drivers' liveries just based off of their style of liveries, but we definitely have a couple new faces I'm not used to seeing here in the series, which is fantastic. We love to see full grids, so we're almost out of full grid today. But Doug getting a very early hole shot here as we're running up in through the Lesmos, heading up into Ascari here now, and just a big long line of beautiful looking Silvias here currently. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Ascari for the first time, all the drivers. Oh, and we got Redline with a 1 second penalty, track limit penalty right there. That's unfortunate. Looking like everybody got through Ascari the first time relatively unscathed, so that's fantastic. So Doug, very quickly with a couple second lead here on the rest of the pack. He's absolutely on a mission just to get away from the pack here. So let's move away from Doug since he has nothing going on. We've got Ibra now up into P2, and Ibra's been looking really strong this season, so Ibra's going to be one of these drivers we're really going to have to look out for all season long. We've got Supra here up into P3 now, and you can see everybody's kind of spaced out a little tiny bit, but the battles are still very easily available there. Everybody getting through T1 and T2, nice and safe here. That's what we like to see, ladies and gentlemen. We get a real good shot of those liveries while they're on the roll here with this new camera too. Loving this new camera angle. Provide for some really good side-by-side viewing. We just don't have any battles here currently, so we're going to let the TV crew do their job here for a few minutes. As we start seeing moves happening, we'll definitely try to get into that rotating camera here. And it makes for, I mean, you can see everything beautifully. It's really going to be of benefit to the stewards and the officials as well. Doing incident reports, having that new camera angle, because, I mean, you can literally get 360 degrees around those cars now with that new camera angle. Is fantastic. So, great little feature added in by Gran Turismo 7 after that last update. We got some chat going on here. Loving the grid walk, no problem, but 50-minute race, close as I can make. Thanks, Doug. We appreciate you, man. Appreciate all the drivers understanding the situation at hand as well. So I know that changes up guys' strategies a little bit. How's it going, Clutch? How you doing, brother? But Doug looking pretty, well, pretty racy today. I mean, he just grabbed that hole shot and he just absolutely tried to run away from the rest of the guys here. So we're starting to get a little bit of a battle brewing here between Ibra giving up P2 there to Supra, but he's going to try and respond. And he's going to get the cutback coming out of the corner exit. So Ibra just kind of lets Supra go by there, and then he's like, yeah, watch this. And he gets the move back. So Ibra losing P2, grabbing P2 back, but Supra's like, yeah, we ain't done with this yet, mate. So right now, Supra trying to get the inside coming into the chicane. Our camera crew's having an issue here, keeping the camera not from zooming in, apparently. Great little battle here. Oh, we got a third player coming into the battle now. We have Fenton coming into the mix here as well. And we're still side by side as we come through T1 and T2. And Supra's still trying to lock down P2 from Ibra here. So this is fantastic news for Doug right now, as Doug's in the lead, just trying to get away from these guys. And while these guys are battling, that's exactly what's allowing to happen here. Let's see what happens. Little tiny bit of contact there, nothing too major, but Ibra losing another position and another position. So Ibra losing 3 positions here on this lap, battling with Supra for P2 all the way down into P5. A little bit of contact there between Supra and Redline there as well. So again, side by side going into the first Lesmo. Not highly recommended, but the guys made it work. And side by side, ladies and gentlemen, these guys are not giving each other an inch, but new player coming in. He's going to give it a little push there to Supra, get him through, and he's like, thank you, mate. I'm going to now come into this battle. I'm going to take that spot as well. So Ibra on the losing hand here right now, dropping 4 positions, half of a lap in Monza here. Really unfortunate, but Ibra's a patient driver. Don't count Ibra out of this battle yet, ladies and gentlemen. That was a great battle right there for 2nd through 6th place, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely fantastic battle. And we got Anto now getting around, what is that? I gotta get up to actually read that. We're gonna call her or him Salem. Salem is how that's going down, ladies and gentlemen. Go Pappy, go Doug. Hey, look at all the love coming in. So we're ignoring the GT45 Gaming YouTube here, so I'm just periodically checking for the chat over here. We're hanging out with our GTRC guys here. Since they're not actually on the track, they're actually watching the race themselves. Just trying to get the audio sorted here. So Salem in P10 here, and I mean, still right there on Anto as well. So, ooh, trying to get an inside move done, but just couldn't get the power down there. He got a little bit sideways, so the game is really loud. Type R at P11 and Pappy here at P12, and Pappy is right there on Type R's butt. So all the drivers here looking like they're having a good start to the race so far. We haven't seen any incidents or any spins, any damage done to any of the cars here yet. We do see Doug with a half-second penalty here though, so that's going to be a little unfortunate because the penalty serving zone here at Monza on GT7 is just after Ascari here, when you really need to be at your top end. So this half-second penalty, unfortunately for Doug, is going to relate to probably about a 3/4 second to a 1 second drop in time to the P2 guy behind here in Redline. So really unfortunate for Doug. And Monza creates penalties. It's a beast for track limits here, and it's not very hard to pick a penalty up for track limits at Monza. Let me tell you, the stewards are not forgiving at all here at Monza. So we see Doug there now. There's that gap just closing from Redline to Doug here. Quick little upshift there to get the car to stop sliding out to the corner there. That's what we saw there. As you can see, that car was really starting to slide out to the apex, to the wide side of the corner, but by upshifting the car, it slowed the RPMs down, which means it slowed that momentum out to the outside of the corner, settled the car down. He was able to hold the final push out the corner. But you see Doug got a really good run down the straight here, and actually pulled a little bit of time on Redline here, but Redline came through T1 and T2 really beautifully there. He took a gorgeous line through that chicane, which should allow him to ultimately gain some time on our P1 driver. So we're on P3 here with Supra now. as we look behind, we see a little battle between 4th and 5th, so let's get in with that. We got Ibra starting to gain some of these positions back now that he lost a little bit earlier on, and we're going to see Ibra make that attempted move here, going through the inside, but he is going to be stuck to the outside. If he can hold it here, no, he couldn't stay in beside, so he's going to have to give that position back up, and he actually lost a little bit of time there. It's hard to get this camera to work quite sweetly. I'm still getting used to it, but... So Ibra actually losing quite a bit of time there, and that's going to allow Monkey Mafia, Key, and Tap all to pick back up on Ibra. So Ibra is just on the losing end of these battles here so far today, which is really unfortunate. But again, he's a very patient, consistent race car driver. He doesn't seem to panic too much. So I suspect that he's just going to buckle down here and do his thing. But unfortunately for Ibra there, that track penalty is going to cost him probably 2 more positions here as he comes out of Ascari. Well, he's definitely going to lose one to Monkey Mafia here, I believe. He does. He loses position, definitely loses that position. And Keys actually tucks right in behind there and gives Monkey Mafia a nice little push through there as well to make sure he grabs that position on Ibra as well. So Ibra now back to P7. So Ibra's having a rough start to his day. Starting in P3, currently down in P7. We'll have to keep our eye on Ibra as he tries to charge back through the field here again. We got Tap who's making some moves now. He's back up at the P8. We got Anto here is having a good solid race so far. He's in P9 with Salem right there behind. Again, in that gorgeous anime livery there. We got Type R just behind those two there in that blacked out Silvia. And Happy Pappy just a little bit behind these guys in his fluorescent green Silvia. So the field isn't too spread apart here yet, which is quite good because, I mean, we're 11 minutes into the race here now currently. So the guys are doing a fantastic job on the racetrack here. Very clean racing today. These guys are do 2 good things during these races. They race very clean, and they always provide great action. So we're seeing it firsthand here as we're on board with our leader currently. We're not on board, but watching our leader. And you can see how close the top 6 drivers really are, 7 drivers really are to each other from nose to tail, maybe about 5 seconds total. Now the downside to the rebroadcast, ladies and gentlemen, is obviously we don't have our live timing up on the top left-hand side of the screen. But just we could definitely speculate based off the gap. So I mean, we're at 1.5 to 2 seconds currently for Doug to second place Redline, and about the same from Redline to Supra in 3rd place. But Ascari makes or breaks the end of the race lap here. You really need to get a good exit out of Ascari. The sooner you can get the power down coming out of that final corner, just obviously the more speed you're going to maintain coming up into that final long sweeping right-hand corner. And it's not that difficult of a corner. You know, a lot of drivers try to take this corner wide, but in reality the best way to take this final corner is to, what we see Doug doing right there, absolutely demolish that apex. Keep the car on the apex, on the power as soon as you get around that apex, and just hold her down and let her go. I like the attention I get. Becoming a commentator fan favorite, Ibra, I must say. Kev Redline here, and he's in a very NASCAR-esque style Silvia livery here, and I quite thoroughly enjoy that, actually. I'm a big stock car racing fan myself, so I love seeing those styles of liveries on the racetrack. On other things than NASCARs or stock cars, it's quite fun to see how the guys transfer, say, a stock car livery to a touring car. They just look so great. Supra's having a really good run here currently too, sitting in 3rd place. We've got Fenton here in 4th. We got Key here in 5th, and we see Ibra now starting to put some pressure back on here, starting to come back up the field, gets a really good line through there. Gonna get the cutback. Is he gonna get the job done here? Great move here on Key, but now they're gonna be side by side coming down into the corner here. I can't remember what the corner is called. Now we're coming into this first was that first Lesmo? I think this is second Lesmo right here. So we're coming into the second Lesmo right here, and he is going to get the job done. So Ibra getting back up into P7 just ahead of Key there. Sorry, Tap. But Tap is right there on the nose, like, all right, mate, let's do this again. So now we're going to go side by side moving into Ascari, and I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this This is always a risky move. Side by side through Scary. It's very difficult to see how these guys handle it. Ibra does back out a little bit. He opts to play the safe route there. Just give the position back to Tap. And not risk having both cars get wrecked through Scary. Scary is very, very difficult point of Monza to race 2x2 through. As a racer, you just really, really try to avoid it at all costs. So we've seen Ibra there. He just made the call there, just backed out a little bit, and just let Tap have that position back. So battle back on. Ibra back to 7. Monkey Mafia all over the back end of him there in 8th. And then we've got Anto in 9th, and Salem still right there, all over the backside of Anto as well. And then we've got Type R and Pappy just holding out the back half of the field here. So a battle here for the first. So glad we got here when we did. Alright, here we go. Let's get on board with our race leader as he's under pressure from Redline here currently. Just going to try and get that job done. Looking on the outside. Doug is going to squeeze him right to that outside line there. He's like, alright, you want to make the move? He goes, you got to make it then. Oh, and he's going to take a look. No, I thought he was going to do the old switcheroo there coming through that second chicane, but Doug covered that off quite nicely, and Redline had to back off a little bit, and now he's got to regain. He's got to get caught back up to the backside of Doug here. So Doug and Redline both getting really, really wide there coming out of that first corner. They're coming into Lesmo 2 here, coming up the straight to Scary now. And if this is where Redline's going to catch up to Doug, it's going to be right here. He's going to grab some slipstream there, and coming right, by the time he gets up to Ascari, I mean, honestly, the best way to make this move on Monza is get right on the back end of the guy coming up into Ascari, follow him through Ascari, and just try to get on the power a little bit sooner than the guy ahead of you. And then running up to that final corner, you really should have no issue getting around them going into the final corner up that start-finish straight. Oh, we got Doug going a little bit sideways there, so there we go. Redline's going to get that run. Now, is Doug going to cover off the inside here is the big question. No, Doug's going to opt to go out, and he's going to take the racing line. I don't think he feels that Redline's going to make the move here. Redline thought about it there for a second, opted just to sit in behind. So, is he going to make the move coming down the big long run into T1 here? No, he's not. Redline getting a little bit wide there. He's going to get out to those marbles, which is a dangerous, dangerous spot to be on Monza. But he did a great job to keep the car together and not really lose a whole lot of time. But he's not making it easy for himself trying to get around that first place driver right now. Is a little bit of nerves potentially, or he's just those little tiny mistakes behind P1 there is just not allowing him to get the run he needs coming into these braking zones. So here we go. Doug's going to come out still with that lead, but definitely under pressure. Redline is not making this easy for Doug right now at all. And these guys have a fairly large gap from the rest of the group here. I mean, we're just seeing these guys coming into this long corner here right now. And Doug and Redline are coming into the second chicane, heading up to the Lesmos right now. Oh, and Doug getting sideways again. So here we go. Is that going to be what it takes for Redline to get caught right on the tail end here? Redline needs a good run out of the corner here. He seems like he gets it. So coming into Lesmo 2 here, this is going to be the chance. This is the opportunity for him to try and get up on back of Doug here for a move at the end of Ascari. He is definitely in that slip this time. So by the end of Ascari here, he should be right there. He should be right on top of Doug. It's going to come down to who gets the better run through Ascari here now coming into this final corner again. And, you know, I guess we can show you the tire and the fuel situation here, too, can't we, ladies and gentlemen, since we're not actually racing live. We can show you all this juicy stuff. Well, we're live, but we're not racing live. This is, again, this race was ran yesterday, so we've grabbed the footage and, of course, broadcasting here this afternoon for everyone. Shame on one holiday. I'll be back for the next Silvia race. Okay. Hair Razor missing. That's right, Hair Razor did miss this round, so Hair Razor's going to have a little bit of work to do to make up some ground here. But man, Redline and Doug are just battling, and this is a good thing right now for the group behind them, because the more and more these guys continue to battle, the better chance that these guys are going to have catching up to the two drivers up front here. So again, The red line trying to get a move done here, but Doug just forcing him to the... I mean, Doug being a very smart race car driver leading a race right now, he's forcing Redline to take the hard way around every single opportunity that Redline has to pass. Doug is making sure he's covering off that defensive line and making Redline take the hard way around. But here we go again. We're coming into the chicane, and now Redline has position this time, ladies and gentlemen. He does have the inside. And can Doug hold the inside? No. Doug tried to go in a little bit late there on the brakes, it looked like, but I don't think he just went a little bit wide is all that was. So Redline is going to take over P1 here now. Doug is on the chase now, sitting in P2. Great job there by Redline, showing some pretty incredible patience there and picking his moment to make that move. But that does allow, as I was just saying, that allows Super to really gain some time on these two drivers with that battle. It wasn't a long, arduous battle, but just that short little 2-3 corner battle there was more than enough to allow Super to gain 2-3 seconds on those two drivers. So P3 now starting to get up the road here and catch up to those two guys. We got P4 coming here too as well, and Fenton's having a great race here. Sitting in P4, we see Ibra just behind now, back up into P5, and again with another half-second track limit penalty. So unfortunately for Ibra, that could cost him position again. No, well, yeah, it could, because Monkey Mafia is not going to have to serve this penalty till next lap. So this still may give Monkey Mafia the position on Ibra here after serving. Doesn't seem to be. So Ibra managing to hold down P5 here after the track limit penalty. That is going to allow these guys to close up on him a little bit, but he had enough distance there on Monkey Mafia and Key to not allow them to get back by off that penalty at least. But again, now Monkey Mafia is in the same position here. Monkey Mafia, and he's just going to opt to put it in pit lane here and get out of that battle, just get out of that situation, and take some tires, take some fuels. That way there you're on the out lap. You're not, yeah, you know, pretty smart move actually by Monkey Mafia there. Just get into the pits, get some new tires, get some fuel. Come back out, hopefully with some clean air, and just put down some really quality laps. So Redline in the lead, now starting to pull a little bit of a gap on Doug here. He's got about 3/4 of a second to his second lead on Doug here. And Silvia looks good without the big top spoiler on it there. Yeah, I'm really enjoying that livery by Redline there for sure. Very, very fantastic. Looks like a little NASCAR running around with a bunch of Silvias. Ibra up into P4 now, ladies and gentlemen. So Ibra is starting to make his charge back up towards the front pack here. But where's Supra here? Supra's just coming out of this final corner here now, and Ibra's just getting in. So there's probably about a 4 to 5 second gap between fourth and third place here currently. But again, Key is right there with Ibra. Key has been right there behind Ibra pretty much the whole race here so far. He's not letting him go anywhere. We got Fenton, must have had somewhat of an issue there at some point, as you see him dropping all the way back down into P6. He's now going to come into pit lane here. And we need to go turn on the pit lane animation, so you guys can see why it takes so bloody long to get into pit lane on some of these racetracks. Anto also coming into the pits here. Like to try and get these pit shots on all the cars, the liveries. It's a really good way to get a good look at all the way around the cars on their liveries. You see them popping in some fuel there. And Anto jumping Fenton in pit lane there on the fuel. But we also see Monkey Mafia is just coming in here too as well. So Monkey Mafia, remember, pit a lap earlier there, and he just came right back into the mix with these guys. So a pretty decent strategy working out for Monkey Mafia there. He actually didn't really lose any position on the racetrack at all there. Pappy sitting in P12 here, so in the lead is our man Redline here. Now, as we can see, ladies and gentlemen, Gran Turismo 7 just had a recent update, and they actually did a little bit of work on the lobbies in this most recent update. And as you can see, just within the viewing alone, what we're not seeing compared to the last few weeks is the cars bouncing right and left. And what we call that in our world is rubber banding. So there's a little tiny amount of it still happening, and depending on the driver's perspective, it might seem different to them. You can hear a little bit of tire screeching as the cars are going by sometimes, and that's the rubber banding we're still hearing. But they did a pretty good job at sorting out a large part of that issue. And it's actually making for really good reviewing now as well, as far as the broadcasting standpoint goes. So as far as commentating goes, I'm very, very happy about the work that they did do in the last update to starting to fix our multiplayer system here in the game. So and of course the new camera angles are bomb. So you know, hey, we'll give them a thumbs up for the new camera angle for sure. But they did a pretty good job at settling down lobby stability there. It's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect, but it's much better. And again, it's just allowing for much better racing. As you can see now, the drivers are getting a lot more interested in coming in back and racing in the leagues and in the events here on GT7 as well, because the servers are starting to stabilize a little bit. And we got Anto battling with Fenton here. Fenton is... Oh, we got contact. Oh, we got big time contact. Alright, so let's see how they sort this out here. Fenton realizing that he made a mistake by bumping into Anto there and was just trying to not take the position from him, but making a mistake by stopping where he stopped there. And that actually got Monkey Mafia caught up in the incident as well, but Monkey Mafia grabbing two spots there as well. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's probably how that would have worked out. Anyways, it's just unfortunate that Monkey did get caught up, and as you see, a little bit of front aero damage on that car here right now. But again, damage setting is light here, so it does go away after about 30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. So it's only about 30 seconds the drivers really got to deal with that said damage on their car. But still, unfortunate incident, but that's racing. That's racing, ladies and gentlemen. And again, Fenton just trying to do the right thing there by not taking the spot away from Anto after making contact in the corner there. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong there. It was just not the safest spot to sit on track and wait. Ideally, the best situation there is just to continue on the racetrack, get off the racing line, and wait for that driver to come back around you. So now we do have a series of pit stops happening here. We got the leader, Doug, and Redline. No, Redline stayed out. So second place, Doug coming into pit lane. We got Ibra also sitting here in pit lane. You can see a little bit of scratching on his cars. He had a rough start to the race there. We got Key in here as well in pit lane. And Supra. So 4 drivers making stops here. Monkey Mafia is cruising up the road here. Anto has, again, taken that position ahead of Fenton back after Fenton giving that position back. It was just a mistake, ladies and gentlemen. It happens. Pappy in 12th place. Doing what Pappy does, man. Just cruising and loving life, man. Having a good time. Pappy's a fantastic dude to hang out and chat with, too. He's absolutely a very, very, very fun-loving, great personality style dude, man. He's always got you cracking up and laughing. So, he's a really fun guy to race with, fun guy to hang around with. So, we love seeing him on track. But Redline in the lead here. He still owes a pit stop here, though. So, we'll see when he decides to make that pit stop. It'll be within the next 4 to 5 laps based off what we're seeing for fuel. We got Tap now retaining P2. He's going to owe a pit stop here as well, yeah. We've got Salem here as well. Tires looking a little worse for wear than the drivers in front, but sitting in P3 currently. But as you can see, Doug, who has made his pit stop, is just back in behind there in P4. So the best thing for Salem to do right now is take his pit stop right now at the end of this lap, and minimize the lost time to the drivers that are behind him that essentially will be in front of when he does choose to make his pit stop. So Doug, once the 3 drivers ahead take their pit stops, we should be right there for the race lead. We see Redline, our leader, coming in right now. So we're going to stick on with that. And currently Redline is holding fastest lap on track as well, ladies and gentlemen. So Redline having a pretty fantastic race here. Had a real tough race last week in the GT3 Championship, needing a little splash of fuel and just having a series of incidents that caused an issue, which created him to DNF right at the end of the race, unfortunately. So looking for a good recovery drive here this week in the Silvias. And you can see he's lost first, second, third. He's now losing fourth here, fifth. He's going to come out what looks to be in P6 here. P5, P6 is right there with speed, so he is going to have to hold that inside line. He's going to seize the two drivers get around. He's going to pull into the racing line there so he can get the optimal line through the chicane here, obviously. And he does come out in P6 there, so we now have Tap in the race lead. And we still have Salem sitting in now P2, and Doug moving back up into P3. We got Type R sitting in P4, also was a pit stop here yet, with Supra just behind in P5. So Doug and Supra should move back into P2, P1, P2, and Redline should go back into P3 after these couple drivers make their stops here today. Be interested to see how they all play this out. I mean, some drivers opt to or run their fuel tanks right to the bone limits before they pit. Some drivers have a strategy set in mind and they stick to that strategy no matter what their tire or fuel situation is, and I kind of like that. I'm much the same way. I don't necessarily want to run my tank empty. I want to stick to my strategy, stick to my pace, and hopefully not have any issues with my race, and I can stick to that strategy. Because what happens then is when you go in, if you take it easy on that first stint, you do a little bit of fuel saving. You don't necessarily have to worry about your tires so much, I guess, but do a little bit of fuel saving on that first stint. So when you do your scheduled strategy stop, you don't have to take as much fuel when you make that pit stop. You can take, you know, maybe the guy in front of you has to take 70 liters of fuel, and you only need to take 55 because you did a little bit of fuel saving in that first stint. You're going to jump that guy in pit lane because you just saved yourself about 8-9 seconds of refueling time. 8-9 seconds of time gained in pit lane is massive in endurance racing. So, you know, to each their own strategy, of course. I'm not saying that is a wrong strategy by any stretch of the imagination. As we see, Salem is on exactly that kind of strategy. Tires are in good shape here still, so the tires really aren't the issue on the stint. It's definitely the fuel. But as you can see here, Doug not having to take a full tank of fuel, calculating what he needs for the end of that race. So that does two things for him. One, makes his race car a lot lighter, which means he's on fresh rubber. That should increase his lap times, increase his pace, which means he should be able to gain time on the drivers in front or continue to hopefully put a gap between him and the drivers behind. So Doug is much like I am when he does his endurance racing. He has his strategy, he's done his practice, he knows what to expect in the race. And as long as the race goes as planned, he can stick to his strategy. He does exactly that. He comes out with 75% fuel in the tank. He's a little bit lighter, he's a little bit faster, and he loses a little bit less time making that pit stop. So pit strategies play a very big part in endurance racing here. We're seeing different strategies play out. It's going to be interesting to see where each driver places based off of this different styles of strategies that they're operating there. Oh, we got Super getting all kinds of squirrely. Got into the dirt a little bit there. Did a really great job to keep that car on the racetrack and keep his position, but he's definitely going to cost some time to himself to Key just behind, and Ibra is right there too. Ibra is lurking. Ibra is definitely lurking. Tap is in 7th. Monkey Mafia here in 8th with teammate Anto just behind, getting past there by Fenton. Great move by Fenton on the outside there of the Lesmo, actually, as we head up into Ascari. Anto sitting in P10 here. We see Anto a lot here in the broadcast here at GT45 Gaming, because we see him in other leagues that we do broadcasting for as well. So we love seeing familiar faces on track. It gives us a little bit knowledge about the driver. And we see Salem there. So when we talk about rubber banding, which you guys just saw on the screen there, that's what I mean when we say rubber banding. You've seen Salem literally just go from one side of the racetrack to the other. That doesn't happen in the game. That's just a lag spike. So, and that's what we mean by rubber banding. So, I mean, obviously they haven't completely eliminated the issue, but they've definitely got, it's so much better. So much better. And Doug here, now in the lead. And again, we're in a very similar scenario here as we've seen in the first stint. Now we got Redline 2-3 seconds behind Doug in second place. Can he reel him back in? We got Supra still sitting there in third, but Supra is under some pretty good pressure here by Key. And Ibra just behind him there as well. So he actually had a really good run through the chicane there and actually gained some time on driver Key and Ibra behind him. But as you can see, the drivers aren't separated by a whole lot here. And Ibra has some distance behind him. So Ibra has nothing essentially to worry about as far as pressure from in behind right now. His Tap is a few seconds up the road from him here. In sixth place, and Tap is in no man's land right now. Tap's just kind of off in his own little world, so that gives him a chance to really just put his head down and hopefully run some really good, fast, quality laps. You see the same thing from Monkey Mafia here. Not a ton of pressure right now. Fenton is behind him there by about 3 seconds, but no immediate pressure. Fenton has the same issue here with Anto, about 3-second gap, so no immediate pressure. Salem is not too far behind Anto here. The drivers aren't too far apart from each other here throughout the race. But Doug is a man everybody is chasing here. So, Doug, I believe, winning round, if I'm not mistaken, round 1 of the Silvias, and I believe Key won round 2. So, who's going to take round 3 here? I don't have the standings sitting in front of me today, so I can't officially confirm that, but been slacking on the standings lately. Your boy Ghost needs to get on the standings. I like the attention. Got a slight tap, it happens. He's got a Mustang badge on the front. Yeah, I know, it was confusing me. I had to really take a look to make sure it was actually a Silvia. So Redline may obviously be doing some oval racing here in GT7 in some league or another, having a car set up like that. I know I've got a few NASCAR style car setups for oval track racing here on GT7 already as well, so it's a lot of fun. So we have Key has now moved up into P3, so Key has got the job done on Super, but Super's now trying to respond back here, but Super's going to be hung out to the outside of the first part of the chicane. Again, if you can stay side by side, he will have the inside line. He backs out. He's just like, nah, I'm not going to battle you through here, my man. We're just going to save time and we'll continue on. So Ibra's right there now. So now we've got a three-way battle for third position here currently. So we're going to stick with this here right now, as this is the closest battle we have on track. Again, you look up at the radar on the top right-hand side of the screen, the map screen there, you can see all them little blue dots. I mean, they're not too far apart from each other. There's definitely lots of potential battles that are going to be happening near the end of the race here. They just haven't developed quite yet. So here we go, the run up to Ascari, ladies and gentlemen. Right about this bridge is where you're kind of starting to let off your throttle at that 100-meter board. You're just on the brakes. Depending on the driver and the comfort factor with the car, either a hard tap or just a slight little touch to get the car rotation, and then right back down on the juice, man, and try to get through there as well. Full speed, potentially, is the idea. Doesn't always work out that way, but that's the idea, getting through the Ascari there. And then again, here as we come up to this final corner, you're looking for that 110, 120 meter mark. You're kind of on the brakes, down into third gear. Catch that apex, as we're going to see Supra do here. And Supra's going to get a good run on Fenton here because of that corner. He took the fast line around that corner, which gave him a much better exit. And although Fenton is defending quite well, or sorry, Key is defending quite well here. My apologies, Key. It looks like Supra's going to make an inside move here coming up into T1. And then we've got Ibra just hanging out behind. He's okay. Let's see what happens coming into T1 here. Let's see if I can be opportunistic here. Ooh, a little bit of a mistake there by Supra. That's going to give Ibra the inside track. Ibra's going to try and get the move done. Drag racing down around the corner here, coming into that second chicane. Is Ibra going to edge him out here? They are drag racing, and Supra is kind of gaining on Ibra because Ibra is forced to the outside, of course, giving plenty of room there to Supra. But that should give Ibra the inside track coming into the first part of the chicane here. And Ibra's going to get the job done there. So getting ahead. Just outside of the second part of that chicane is Supra. So Supra dropping down from P3 to P5 in the last couple laps here. But still in the mix for this battle. Getting a little bit wide there. Woo, got to be careful. He's going to have a little bit of a dirty tire coming into the second Lesmo here. He's going to have to watch it. Manages it very, very well as they're up for the run to Ascari here now, but that gains Ibra a small amount of breathing room from Supra. So, moving down the field, we got Tap in P6 here. He just came around that Lesmo there as well. Lesmo 2, came around Lesmo 2 there. as we're running up to the Ascari there as well. So he is starting to gain on those drivers. We got Monkey Mafia and Fenton also on the run up to Ascari here now after the second Lesmo as well. Salem and Anto coming around Lesmo 2 here right now, ladies and gentlemen. That's a fun corner, man. You can really get around that corner if you get it just right. You can get some great exit speed there. Got Type R coming around that second chicane right now, and Pappy's just running up to that second chicane here right now. So all the drivers still on the lead lap here, ladies and gentlemen, which is what we love to see. We love seeing all the cars on the lead lap as we have our leader coming around. Let's do an onboard. We're going to do the onboard with our current race leader, Doug, and I'm going to just zip my yip here for a second, let you guys enjoy. Oh, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. A nice juicy on board with our current race leader. We have about 9 minutes remaining here in the race today, so Doug is ripping, man. Doug is absolutely ripping here right now, but you can hear red line is right there. He's slowly tracking in some time here on Doug. And then we still got that battle for third place. The key in third place here right now. Ibra is in fourth, and Supra's kind of falling off these guys just a tiny little bit in fifth place. Got Tap still sitting in P6. We got Monkey Mafia sitting in P7 still. We got Fenton still sitting P8. We got Salem has now moved up into P9. Anto into P10. Type R in P11. And Pappy in P12. We got Doug coming around Lesmo 2 right now, and we've got Redline just coming around Lesmo 1, so you can see the gap is starting to shrink. It is most certainly starting to shrink here. Both drivers are on that run up to Ascari here now. I mean, he can see Doug. He's just a pixel up there, but he can see him up there. And I gotta tell you, when you're it's in the last 10 minutes of a race and you can see the win up ahead of you, that gives you a whole new motivation and desire to really push that race car. And we're seeing that from Redline right now as he came really, really wide through Ascari there. And we've got Key coming through, picking up a half-second track penalty out of Ascari there, so he is gonna have to serve that next lap. So right now what Ibra needs to do is focus on getting right onto the back end of Key here to the point where that penalty serving zone is, so he has that nice easy pass for podium position here. Right now what you don't want to be doing when you're sitting in a podium position in the final remaining minutes of a race is be picking up penalties from the stewards and having to serve them live on the track, because that's obviously going to cost you time and position. Got Tap in sixth here. We're starting to go through our field a little more quickly here. We don't want to miss any battles for position here. It looks like the back half of the field is fairly spread out now. Doug has a decent lead on Redline as he's just coming into the braking point to that second chicane. Oh, it's going to be close between these two here. We got 6.5 minutes remaining. I don't know if Redline's got enough time to reel Doug in. But right now the battle is definitely for P3. You can see Ibra. Again, Ibra just needs to be close enough to Key here coming up this run through Ascari to take advantage of that penalty, and that's exactly what we're seeing Ibra do here right now. He's in that slipstream. He kind of put himself in a bit of a sticky spot there, though, but you can see he's just being smart about what he's doing here. He knew he was in a bad spot, backed off a little tiny bit. Just make sure he stays close enough here. Oh, we see Supra going really wide, and there we go. Ibra does get P3 from Key. So with 5.5 minutes remaining, Ibra moving himself into that podium position. So now Key has the job of trying to reel Ibra back in. Again, penalties late race can definitely kill you, and we just seen it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Costing podium position right there. We got a big 1-second penalty here from Penton, which might be good for Salem here. Again, same thing, just needs to get as close as Salem possibly can here over the next lap, and should retain that spot on Fenton for P8. Sometimes racing isn't about being the fastest driver on the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes it's just about being very consistent and taking opportunity when opportunity is standing there or sitting there in front of you. And that's what we've seen a lot of these drivers do today. We haven't seen a lot of these drivers really have to force a battle, as they just play patient and wait for the driver in front to make a little bit of a mistake. And we've seen a lot of that today. Guys just taking opportunity when opportunity is there. Honk the horn, Doug. So I did have it backwards. Key won round 1 of the Silvias, and Doug round 2. So Doug's actually looking for repeat here in round 3 on the Silvia. So he's looking for back-to-back wins here in the Silvia Championship with this race, and currently in control. But Redline he's right there. I mean, Doug is getting closer and closer and closer every time we see these guys coming up a straight finish line, straight run here. So, and we got fastest lap here. Right now by Redline as well, and Fenton actually holding fastest lap on track currently with a 1:58.717. I refuse to put on a horn. We're definitely keeping our eye on this battle here as well. As you can see, there's only about a second difference between 4th and 3rd place drivers, Ibra and Key here as well. Supra's having a great run here in P5. Tap's having another solid run here in P6. Monkey is having a good run also in P7. Fenton currently holding fastest track on lap, but he's going to be serving that penalty here now. And that's a tough penalty. Is Salem going to be able to take advantage here? Doesn't look like it, just a little too far behind, so not going to grab that position. Anto here in P10, Type R in 11, and Pappy still in 12. And Pappy just getting passed by Doug there, so Pappy just going a lap down here. And Tap now owns fastest lap on track with a 1:58.630. So Tap now owning fastest lap on track. Again, the guys are getting pretty light on the fuel loads here in these cars. They're getting very quick. They still have pretty good rubber on these tires, so we might see this fastest lap bounce around a couple more times yet here before the end of this race today. And we're within 2 minutes remaining. This will be the penultimate lap for probably all the drivers, ladies and gentlemen. So by the time Doug comes around, that will be final lap here at Monza. And Doug's in a pretty good, comfy position here now. He's got a decent little gap there, about 2-3 second lead on Redline, and he's got a lap car in between him and the second place driver that he still needs to navigate as well. So as long as Doug doesn't make a mistake at this point, there's no reason why he shouldn't take this race win home today. Redline's having a great run though. Ibra with another solid run here too, but this isn't over yet either. I mean, they still have a battle here between him and Key as well. And I mean, we still got about 1 minute 20 seconds left, so these guys are going to be going around again. We got Super coming around here. Super's lagging just slightly a little bit. You can hear it. You can hear it in the tire squeal. And Super is now under pressure from Tap. So again, final lap for these two drivers here as well, as Monkey Mafia now coming around here. Go Doug. Hey, what's up Tatiana? How you doing, girl? Tough race last night, girl. Tough race. Tough race. So Monkey Mafia going to get another lap here. Fenton also going to get another lap here. We've got Salem. Salem is going to get another lap as well. Anto coming around. Anto should get another lap here as well. Type R. Oh, Pappy has got it parked in the pits. I'm not sure what the deal is there. Potentially his controller died. Doing good, and yeah, it's been better. Just stopping by to say hi. Oh, we love you here, Tatiana. So glad to see you stopping in. But Doug is going to do what Doug does and try to take home another race win here. So Doug is a very strong over here at the GTRC. We need to get some drivers over here in the GTRC to show Doug what pressure all race long looks like. Need to get Tatiana on the track. Let her come and show Doug how you do it. So we're going to stick with the race leader, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, we're coming up to the final corner here of Monza on the final lap of our race here today. And it is going to be a round 3 victory for Doug Burrow. So back-to-back Silvia Touring Championship victories here for Doug. So he's got a very good jump start in the standings this season. And we'll put the standings up next week for you guys so we can get you all caught up on that. But massive congratulations to Doug with the race win. We got Redline coming across in P2 there. Fantastic job. And here we go. Battle for P3, ladies and gentlemen. To the line. Who's going to get it? Ibra. Ibra is going to snake. Ibra is going to snake P3 out from Key by hundredths of a second, ladies and gentlemen. We got a Supra just snagging 5th place. Tap right there. That looked like a drag race to the finish line as well. We got Monkey Mafia going to be coming across the 7th, and he has got Fenton right there as well. So all of these drivers making all that time up in these last couple laps here at Monza and putting on that start-finish line drag racing show. Monkey Mafia coming across here at P7. Great job by Mafia. We got a nice job by Fenton here in a solid P8 finish. Salem here coming across in P9 as well. So great job by all our drivers here. Type R coming across already in P10. Anto came across in 11 and Pappy in 12th place. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. 12 drivers on our grid today for the Silvia. That's the most we've had so far on the grid. And these guys did a fantastic job. That was a great race, ladies and gentlemen. Huge shout out to our podium finishers. We don't have interviews here for you this week, just mainly because I was broadcasting another event yesterday during when this event was going on. So maybe we'll do them next week. We'll catch up on these interviews maybe in 2 weeks potentially. Maybe we'll do them next week for this week's race, and of course podium interviews for the GR3 Championship will progress after the race next weekend. So that's round 3, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, we were at Monza. And man, oh man, does Monza provide great racing. Doug came in on pole position and held first place for the majority of the race. Redline did take that from him for a little tiny bit, about halfway through the race, but was unable to get back up there. And I think the turning point for Redline there while he was battling with Doug, ladies and gentlemen, was the fact that Doug took just what he needed for fuel, and I think Redline topped his car right to the max. So losing that time on the fueling window, I think cost Redline a shot at the race win today. But I mean, there's not a lot of recapping here, ladies and gentlemen. It was a good, clean race all race long. We've seen one incident, and of course the drivers handling that incident accordingly and properly. as far as race etiquette goes and all that great stuff. So we've seen lots of great moves. We got to play with the new camera angle a little bit here at GT7 and provided some great action shots in these side-by-side battles. We saw that three-way side-by-side battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th place between Ibra, Supra, and Key for a solid 2.5 laps. That was a great battle by those three drivers. Ibra starting P3, having all sorts of trouble at the beginning of the race, picking up penalties, losing extra positions while battling. And again, just showing the patience Ibra is there. Ibra's a patient race car driver, and I talk about Ibra a lot because I really enjoy watching his style of racing. It much reminds me of how I like to race in endurance racing. You don't force it if you don't need to. Let what happens, and just continue running your race and running your paces, stick to your strategy. And Ibra did that, and it paid off for him. Paid off for him big time. It was a very, very close call at the start-finish line there. I'm very curious to see what that timing was. It had to have been within 100th of a second between Key and Ibra to the line there. But the patience and just his consistency paid off for him and brought him up to a P3. So again, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to be the fastest driver on the racetrack to do well in an endurance race. It's all strategy. It's all about making good decisions in moments during the race. And although we've seen Ibra losing battles and losing positions in battles, at the end of the day, he comes back up into P3. And Ibra, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be one of these drivers to be looking out for this season here in the Silvia Touring Championship. I'm telling you right now, mark my words here in round 3, Ibra is going to be a driver to look out for. So, huge congratulations to all three of our drivers. Again, Doug for first place, Redline in second, and Ibra with a very, very close third place finish there. Congratulations to the rest of the drivers in the field as well. We didn't lose anybody to disconnects. We didn't have any mechanical failures in the race cars. And with the exception of Happy Pappy, every single guy was on the lead lap. And I mean, Happy Pappy was on the lead lap till the second last lap of the race. So great job by all our racers today. You can see that they're putting in the work, they're putting in the time, they're putting in the practice. It shows every week on the racetrack. And if you're a part of the GTRC Discord, it definitely shows in the Discord off the racetrack as well. Obviously, there's a lot of camaraderie between the group, and they help each other, they practice with each other, they strategize together, and that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. So, you guys want to get involved, you guys want to come on track and test your mettle in league racing, there's always potential openings in all these leagues that we broadcast for. So all you got to do is just leave a message in the comments here, either on the GTRC YouTube or the GT45 Gaming YouTube channel, and we'll make sure to get back to you and direct you in the right place, get you with the right people, get you the right information, and see if you're interested. We'd love to see you on track. We'd love to see your skills and love to see what you got. And hey, I mean, it's always fun. It's always fun being live on the internet when you're racing. It adds a little bit of intrigue. It adds a little bit of excitement as a racer as well. So, great job by these guys yesterday, and I'm really sad I missed it live. It was a cracking race. It was an absolute cracking race. Great job by all the drivers. Probably the cleanest race of the season so far, as far as the Silvia Championship goes, was round 3 here at Monza. And Monza makes it tough to keep it clean. So, great job by all our drivers here today. I mean, give yourselves a round of applause, guys. You had fantastic racing. Fantastic racing. Hey, we love you. We love you, Ibra. Special well done to 750 and Pappy. Sorry, Type R. It's all, everybody did really, really good. And again, everybody was basically on the lead lap, and that's going to say something. So, in an hour, 50-minute endurance is the case for this one. The faster guys not lapping the slower guys just goes to show that the guys that are a little off pace are learning. They're getting faster. Their pace is picking up. So that's fantastic to see, which means, they're going to be competing harder and harder. They're going to be battling for more and more positions as the season progresses, and that's what we love to see, ladies and gentlemen. We love to see all the drivers going out there, learning a little bit, getting a little bit faster, and just enjoying the moment. League racing is a brotherhood. It's a sisterhood. It's a family. It really, really is. You grow bonds with your racers and your fellow competitors on and off the racetrack. You have some spirited competition. You have a lot of fun. And, sim racing is taking community-based racing to a whole new level. And it's fantastic because it's creating so many positivities in the world. And whether you're just a small community like the GTRC community is, or whether you're a growing creator like myself, GT45 Gaming, you know, we're encroaching 1,000 followers between the two pages here now. The community is growing ever so quickly, and thank you guys so much for all the support, and gals. We really do appreciate it. But, you know, we just keep adding communities, and we keep intertwining all our communities together, and these communities are getting huge. And the one thing about the sim racing community is we're always there to help each other. We're always there to support a good cause. And the sim racing community really is clutch. It is the best community, and I am super, super glad to be a part of it. And I'm super glad that I am privileged enough to be able to bring live broadcast racing to you guys, like we see, say, in IMSA or GT World Challenge or F1 or NASCAR or Indy or, you know, MotoGP, Rallycross. So it goes on and on and on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, there's so many motorsports, drag racing, right? Just to name the big ones anyways. And you know, I've been a part of real racing pit crews all my life as well through my younger years, and it's not any different in real life racing than it is in the sim racing community. Your competition on track, you're there, you're fighting for championships, you're fighting for money prizes, you're fighting for glory, for prestige, for honor, for whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, off the track, man, you know, one of your competitors blows an engine and he needs help putting in a new engine in his car. You're going to see 5 pit crews come together, get in that guy, and you're going to see that engine go in that race car in 30 minutes flat, and you're going to see that guy back out on track, at least finishing his race. And that, you know, and that relates from real racing community to sim racing community. It's no different. It is absolutely no different at all. You know, it's a big, tight-knit family. We look out for each other, whether we're in time of need or we just need some help getting faster. And I just love to see it. And it's no different here at the GTRC than it is in any other sim racing community I'm a part of, whether it be Gran Turismo, whether it be Forza, whether it be ACC, whether it be iRacing, whether it be Red Faction 2 or whatever, Red Factor 2 they call it, and a couple other ones out there too as well. But, you know, the communities are competitive. But at the end of the day, we're there to help each other out, and we're there to support great causes worldwide. And you know, you guys are making a difference. You guys are making a difference every single day. So keep doing what you're doing. You're absolute legends out there, ladies and gentlemen. We always appreciate all the support, the great viewership here. And if you enjoy these races, don't forget to hit that sub button. Don't forget to hit that sub button, ladies and gentlemen. Turn on those live notifications so you never miss another moment of the great racing action here at GTRC. And we're going to be back next Saturday for the GR3 Championship. And that's going to be round 3 as well, ladies and gentlemen. And that's going to be a spicy one. I'm expecting to see a full grid next week on that guy. And we're going to have a great race. We got all sorts of different manufacturers on the racetrack too for that. It is a true GT Challenge GT3 style series, and boy, it's a lot of fun. It is so much fun. The guys put it all on the line week in and week out over there. There's a lot of spirited competition in the Group 3 series, so that's where we're going to be next weekend, ladies and gentlemen. To be broadcast at 3 p.m. Eastern time. 3 p.m. Eastern time, and. Yeah, and then after that, we're gonna miss round 4 of the Silvias as well because I'm moving. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, I'm relocating, so we'll be down for a few days here at the page, which means we're gonna have to do what we did today. We're just gonna have to get them guys to save the footage and send us over the footage, and we'll just have to rebroadcast it for them at a later date. So. But next week we'll be live. We'll be live on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern time for the GTRC GR3 Championship Series, ladies and gentlemen. And you don't want to miss it. It's going to be an absolute pauper race. And let's see who's got what it takes to win. I believe that Key won last week over there at the GR3 Championship Series, so he's going to be looking for that repeat win here moving into next week as well. So great race here at Monza. Just a quick little recap. It was a 50-minute endurance on racing medium tires. It's the only tire compound the drivers are allowed to use. It does create a one-stop situation for most of these races for the drivers. Fantastic race from start to finish. Our pole sitter does end up coming across with the race win in Doug Burrow, and then Redline definitely giving him a good run for his money here today with that P2 finish, and Ibra with an absolute drag race, fantastic finish to the line, just edging out P3 on driver Key. So that's going to shake the standings up a little bit. We're definitely going to have to make sure the standings get brought to you guys next week. So next week we'll give you guys the Silvia standings and the GR3 standings. We'll get you guys all caught up on who's in the lead and what in both championship divisions. And man, we love you guys, man. Much love. I hope you all enjoyed the race. It really was a great race. These guys just week in and week out put on a great show for the fans, and of course we appreciate it as a commentator. It makes it real easy for us to provide great, clean commentary for the viewers when the guys are on track, racing their hearts out and keeping it real nice and tidy. So much love to the GTRC drivers, the administration staff over at the GTRC, obviously for putting and designing and developing the events and getting them put together. Massive shout out to everybody else involved as well. Tatiana, we love Tatiana too. One of these days we're gonna have to get Tatiana in here for some co-coms. We miss Tatiana here at the GTRC, and I've never had the opportunity to actually broadcast with Tatiana yet either, so that'd be a first for me as well. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So maybe we'll have to set that up someday. But until next week, ladies and gentlemen, I am your host for today, GT45 Gaming. We do have another live broadcast we got to do here in a couple of hours, so we are going to shut the broadcast down here, and stay tuned on GT45 Gaming's socials and pages for the next broadcast here in a couple hours. But great job with the GTRC guys. It's an absolute honor to be the broadcaster here for these guys and bring these guys out to the internet and bring them live to the viewers. And great group of dudes, so we always love to help great groups of people, and this is definitely a great group of people, so can't wait to see what they got for us next week. Most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, as I challenge everybody all the time, small act of kindness. If you have the opportunity to take advantage and take the time out of your day, even if it's just a couple of seconds, to do a small act of kindness for somebody, you could potentially be changing their lives. And I highly suggest just taking the time out of your day and doing it, no matter how minuscule or insignificant it may seem to you. It could be the whole world to that person that you just helped. Stay winning. We'll be back next week, 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, June 9th, ladies and gentlemen. July 9th. Wrong month. July 9th. And we'll be back with another poppin' race. And I do expect to see a full field for next week's race, or this week's race, I guess, coming up now. So it should be a good one. It should definitely be a good one. Stay winning, everybody. Stay winning. We love you guys. Hey, always, Doug. Always, Doug. Appreciate you, my man.